All right, PT chart. Everybody is used to the refrigerant PT chart. Temperature and pressure, of course, must coincide because that's what we're taught in automotive, that only look at a black and white piece of paper and believe what the paper says without knowing the physics of some funny little things like superheated vapor and subcooled vapor, and how about variable speed compressors compared to maybe something like this Honda that has a variable displacement compressor, compared to, and there's no vehicle around here who has a fixed vehicle displacement compressor. Oh, let's get this back. So let's go to right here. You see the pressure switch right there, right? This is on the liquid line. You can see my high side coupling. I always have high side couplings and low side permanently. They never come off because I'm always using my car as a reference, and I'll hook up pressure transducers, not hoses, but just pressure transducers to the fittings to do some measurements. So here is, you see that blue, little blue indicator right there? Let's come back here, go to job link, and let's get back to our temperatures. See, this one is in blue right there. This one is in red. See where that says the temperature of the liquid line is 80 degrees Fahrenheit. That's clamped on right next to the pressure sensor. Now, if that liquid refrigerant is 80 degrees, what should the pressure be? Well, let's look at the PT chart. So we come to the PT chart, and you come up here where the temperature and the pressure is. So let's temperature Fahrenheit. Let's come down to 80 degrees. There we go. Let's open it up. There's 80 degrees. So in theory, that line is 80 degrees Fahrenheit. The pressure should be 86.7 psi, because there's the temperature and there's the pressure on the same line, liquid line. So we know all these experts who talk about PT charts, and I'm not saying anything, but there's things that have not been explained that we learn when you go to a 2.5-year HVAC school that you don't learn in automotive, because they say PT chart, a piece of white paper, you follow this and that's golden rule. Not always. Pressure sensor regulator. It's been going between 112 and 115 psi right there. 115 psi. Wait a minute. But that line is 80 degrees and it's not 86 psi. It's 112 low. So let's come down to about 112 psi. Boom, right there. 112 psi. It should be 94 degrees Fahrenheit, but it's not. So you cannot use the PT without the rest of the information, knowing what's going on. There's something going on, and I'm not going to mention it. I'm going to mention some of it. I'm going to give a little bit of the goodies out of the cat, let some of the cat out of the bag. So that doesn't work. Well, let's go over to this one. Let's come way over here. Yeah, I'm about to do an oil change. There's the compressor. It's an electric compressor right there. There's the discharge line. So this is superheated vapor coming out of the compressor. I'm taking the temperature of this line right here. So that's the high side. This is also the high side. So let's go back to the JobLink software, and the temperature of that line is 116 psi. So let's go back to the PT chart at 116 psi, because we know we were taught, because on the internet they say you follow the PT chart. So let's go to 116 Fahrenheit. There's 115.9 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's call that good as gold right there. Let's get that up there. That doesn't want to stay big. All right, 115. So at 115.9 degrees Fahrenheit, the high side pressure should be 96 psi. Or I got that backwards. Sorry guys. Pressure is on this side, temperature on that. We're looking at 116 psi, 116 degrees Fahrenheit. You can see I'm misspeaking here in the video, so let's correct my internet. I don't do retakes, I don't edit. There we go, 116 degrees. Temperature, 116 degrees. At 116 degrees Fahrenheit, our high side pressure should be 160.9 psi. 108 psi. Your pressure sensor, 108. Wait a minute. It doesn't correlate with the temperature on the liquid line. It doesn't correlate with the temperature on it. So what is right? I'm just giving you a little bit of information to hopefully stir your imagination, the thinking part, that the gray matter, the stuff that doesn't get used very much, and figure out how can the pressure temperature be wrong. It's wrong in this situation where it's sitting right next to the sensor. It's wrong in that situation, but they're both the high side and they're both wrong. They don't even come anywhere close. Well, let's look at this other PT chart that the geniuses in our industry use. And where is that? Hey, oh, there we go. Now this is the one the geniuses use. So the geniuses that use this one here, it says your ambient air temperature sensor, or your ambient air temperature. So what is our ambient air temperature? Well, let's go. We are in Tiburon right now. Weather. We are 64 degrees and it's cloudy. Yep, that's cloudy. We are 64 degrees right now. So at 64 degrees, we are gonna look at what all the geniuses use. So the geniuses out there use this little universal thing so they know what their high side and low side should be. So the geniuses would go, okay, I have an ambient air temperature of 65 degrees. So my high side pressure should be between 135 and 155. So if I come up here to my high side pressure, I'm at 112. Well, and if you go over to, let's see, so apparently there must be something wrong. So what is lying to us? Is there anything lying? There's nothing lying to us. It's if you don't actually understand what is going on, all your pressure and temperature readings will never correlate with what's going on inside the regular PT chart. Or let's get back to the regular PT chart. And yeah, there we go. So this means nothing when you're dealing with subcooled liquid or superheated vapor, because remember, some automotive manufacturers place this high side discharge line on the high hot gas discharge vapor. Other manufacturers place the high side discharge line at the liquid line. Then it depends, do you have a microchannel condenser or do you have an old tube or fin? Do you have an integrated receiver dryer on the side that separates after the supercooling has gone through the first 1, 2, or 3 passes? It drops into a integrated receiver dryer that separates the liquid and then passes it through the lower chambers, the lower tubes, to go into a subcooling, and then you're taking your pressure or temperature? Or do you have a separate receiver dryer off of tube or fin, and the receiver dryer is located somewhere here? Is your high side fitting located before the receiver dryer, on the receiver dryer, or after the receiver dryer? You may have different pressures that don't match up with the temperatures. Or is the high side pressure fitting located on the compressor discharge, but you're taking temperature at the liquid line leaving the condenser? You will get false information. So everybody who read or heard on YouTube or Facebook that you use the PT chart and you just take a pressure and it should give you a pressure, 98% of you are all wrong. But you think it's right because it's in black and white and it's on the internet, and you have been told that pressure, temperature should relate. Otherwise, you're going to diagnose off of that wrong information that you're getting, and you're going to try to, for the guys who like to add refrigerant to make it match that other thing, this thing, I call it a thing, it has no usefulness really on today's cars. If you're using this, you're in a world of hurt. I'll see you guys later. Some of you got something from this, some of you didn't. And the ones who can't get it, there's a little bit more research to do. I'm not giving away the information on a silver platter. I'm just sticking a stick into the hornet's nest and stirring up some trouble. See you guys later.